The differences are fundamental and touch upon the source of authority, the concept of freedom, the role of the individual, and the foundation of law. Here is a breakdown of the main differences between liberalism and Islam. 1. Source of authority and sovereignty. Liberalism, human reason and popular will. The ultimate source of authority is the collective will of the people, expressed through democratic processes like voting. Islam, divine revelation. The ultimate source of authority is God, Allah. Human beings are his vicegerents, Khalifa, on earth, tasked with implementing his laws. The Sharia, Islamic law derived from the Quran and Sunnah, is the supreme framework. 2. Concept of freedom and rights. Liberalism, negative liberty. Freedom is often understood as the absence of external constraints. The individual should be free to act as they please as long as they do not harm others, the harm principle. Islam, freedom within divine boundaries. Freedom is the ability to choose, but the ultimate purpose is to choose to worship and obey God. Granted rights. Rights and freedoms are granted by God, not invented by humans. They come with responsibilities. For example, freedom of belief is granted. There shall be no compulsion in religion, Quran 2:256, but it exists within a framework where promoting blasphemy or insulting the core of the faith may be considered a violation of public order and God's limits. 3. The role of religion in public life. Liberalism, secularism. A core tenet of modern liberalism is the separation of religion and state. Religion is seen as a private matter. The public square is neutral, and governance should be based on secular reasoning accessible to all citizens, regardless of their faith. Islam, comprehensive system, Deen. Islam is not just a private faith. It is a complete way of life, Deen. It provides guidance for all aspects of life, including politics, economics, law, and social conduct. There is no conceptual separation between mosque and state. The ideal Islamic state is one that governs by Sharia. 4. Foundation of morality and law. Liberalism, moral relativism, social contract. Morality is often seen as subjective or based on a social contract agreed upon by individuals for mutual benefit. What is good can evolve with society. Laws change based on shifting social values and majority opinion. Islam, objective morality. Morality is objective and absolute, derived from divine command. What is good, ma'ruf, and evil, munkar, are defined by God and are timeless. The purpose of Sharia is to protect and promote objective human well-being, which includes faith, life, intellect, lineage, and property. These core objectives, Maqasid al-Sharia, are fixed. 5. View of the individual and the community. Liberalism, methodological individualism. The individual is the primary unit of society. The community is a collection of individuals. The goal of society is to protect individual rights and maximize individual autonomy. Islam, communal responsibility with individual accountability. While the individual is personally accountable before God, the community, Ummah, has a collective identity and responsibility. The famous Quranic principle is to enjoin what is right and forbid what is wrong, 3:104, creating a society based on mutual responsibility. Individual rights are balanced with social welfare and the common good. 6. Economic philosophy. Liberalism, capitalism, generally aligns with free market capitalism, where the market is driven by competition, profit motive, and minimal state intervention. The charging of interest, usury, is a normal part of the economy. Islam, moral economy, supports a market-based economy but with strong ethical constraints. Key features include prohibition of riba, usury, interest, considered exploitative. Prohibition of gharar, excessive uncertainty, speculation, as in certain financial derivatives. Zakat, obligatory alms, a wealth tax to redistribute resources and care for the poor. Encouragement of risk-sharing and productive investment. Conclusion: a clash of first principles. The differences are not merely political but philosophical and theological. They stem from a fundamental disagreement on the answer to the question, who decides what is right and wrong, and how should society be organized? Liberalism's answer, humanity itself, through reason and democratic deliberation. Islam's answer, God, through revelation, with humanity acting as his trustee on earth. This is why the relationship between liberal democracies and Muslim communities, both within nations and internationally, can be a source of tension. It represents a clash between two fundamentally different worldviews about the very nature of authority, freedom, and the good life.